Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started, good luck. How does Amazon SWF handle concurrent workflow executions? All executions share the same state. Only one execution is allowed at a time. Concurrent executions are not supported. Each execution is isolated and managed separately. In Amazon SWF, each workflow execution is isolated and managed separately. This allows multiple instances of the same workflow to run concurrently without interference, each with its own state and history. How does Amazon SWF handle task assignment to workers? Tasks are randomly assigned. Tasks are assigned in a round-robin fashion. Workers poll SWF for tasks. SWF pushes tasks to workers. In Amazon SWF, workers actively poll the service for tasks. When a task becomes available that matches a worker's capabilities, SWF assigns it to that worker, ensuring efficient task distribution. In Amazon SWF, what is a child policy? Determines how child workflows are handled if the parent terminates. Defines inheritance in workflow design. Specifies child workflow versions. Sets permissions for child workflows. A child policy in Amazon SWF determines how child workflows are handled if the parent workflow terminates. It can specify whether child workflows should be terminated, cancelled, or allowed to continue running. Which component in Amazon SWF is responsible for carrying out specific tasks? Domain. Worker. Activity. Decider. In Amazon SWF, a worker is responsible for carrying out specific tasks. Workers are typically EC2 instances or on-premises servers that poll SWF for tasks, execute them, and return the results. Which component in Amazon SWF is responsible for scheduling child workflows? Decider. Activity. Worker. Domain. In Amazon SWF, the decider is responsible for scheduling child workflows. As part of its coordination logic, the decider can decide when and which child workflows to start based on the current state. How does Amazon SWF handle geo-distributed workflows? By using global domains. By allowing workers in different regions. SWF does not support geo-distribution. By replicating workflows across regions. Amazon SWF handles geo-distributed workflows by allowing workers in different AWS regions or even on-premises. Tasks can be executed wherever the workers are, while SWF manages the coordination centrally. In Amazon SWF, what does task heartbeating involve? Monitoring worker CPU usage. Checking task execution speed. Verifying task output integrity. Workers periodically signaling they're still working. Task heartbeating in Amazon SWF involves workers periodically signaling that they're still working on a long-running task. This prevents SWF from assuming the task has failed due to a timeout, allowing extended operations to complete. In Amazon SWF, what is a decision task? A task that evaluates worker performance. A task that determines the next steps in a workflow. A task that requires human intervention. A task that sets workflow priorities. In Amazon SWF, a decision task is a task that determines the next steps in a workflow. It is sent to the decider, which uses the workflow's current state to decide which activities to schedule, timers to set, or signals to send. How does Amazon SWF support workflow versioning? By allowing multiple versions of a workflow type. By making a Git commit. Amazon SWF does not support workflow versioning. By versioning the entire domain. When you update a workflow, you can create a new version of the workflow by updating the workflow type and creating a new workflow version. This allows you to maintain multiple versions of the workflow, each with its own set of changes. What is the purpose of task routing in Amazon SWF? To match tasks with capable workers. To distribute tasks across domains. To optimize network paths for tasks. To sequence tasks in a workflow. Task routing in Amazon SWF is used to match tasks with capable workers. By using task lists and task types, SWF ensures that each task is assigned to a worker that has the right skills or resources to handle it. How does Amazon SWF ensure task execution order? Through the decider's coordination logic. By alphabetical task naming. By using timestamps on tasks. Through worker prioritization. Amazon SWF ensures task execution order through the decider's coordination logic. The decider schedules tasks based on dependencies, conditions, and the overall workflow structure, maintaining the correct sequence. What is the concept of logical clock in Amazon SWF? A mechanism to order events in a workflow. A system for time zone management. A timer for scheduling tasks. A tool for measuring workflow duration. The logical clock in Amazon SWF is a mechanism to order events in a workflow. It ensures that the sequence of events is consistent across all components, even if they're running in distributed environments with different physical clocks. Which AWS service does Amazon SWF use to store workflow execution history? Amazon S3. Amazon DynamoDB. Amazon RDS. Amazon SWF's internal durable store. Amazon SWF uses its own internal durable store to keep a complete and consistent record of each workflow's execution history, ensuring reliability and enabling task retries if needed. How does Amazon SWF handle task timeouts? Timeouts are not supported in SWF. By offering start, heartbeat, and schedule timeouts. By using a global timeout setting. By relying on EC2 instance limits. Amazon SWF handles task timeouts by offering three types: start timeout, heartbeat timeout, and schedule timeout. This ensures tasks don't stall indefinitely. How does Amazon SWF handle workflow cancellation? By stopping task assignment. By sending a signal to the workflow. By terminating all associated EC2 instances. By deleting the workflow from the domain. Amazon SWF handles workflow cancellation by sending a signal to the running workflow. The workflow's decider can then implement custom logic to gracefully stop activities, clean up resources, and end the workflow. How does Amazon SWF handle task failures? By automatically terminating the workflow. By notifying the decider and continuing. By rolling back to a previous checkpoint. By allowing task retries and providing error handling. Amazon SWF handles task failures by allowing task retries and providing robust error handling. It notifies the decider about the failure, allowing custom logic to decide whether to retry, use a different worker, or take alternative actions. In Amazon SWF, what is the role of the respond decision task completed action? To signal workflow completion. To confirm child workflow creation. To submit decisions from the decider to SWF. To acknowledge worker task completion. The respond decision task completed action in Amazon SWF is used by the decider to submit its decisions to SWF. These decisions, based on the workflow's current state, guide the next steps in the workflow's execution. What is the concept of task list in Amazon SWF? A log of completed tasks. A set of task dependencies. A list of all tasks in a workflow. A queue that workers pull for tasks. In Amazon SWF, a task list is a queue that workers pull for tasks. Each task list is associated with a specific type of work, allowing SWF to match tasks with workers that have the right capabilities. In Amazon SWF, what is a workflow execution? The act of deploying a workflow. A group of related activity tasks. The process of designing a workflow. An instance of a workflow type being run. In Amazon SWF, a workflow execution is an instance of a workflow type being run. Each execution has its own set of inputs, state, history, and output, allowing multiple instances to run independently. What is the difference between Amazon SWF and AWS step functions? SWF offers more low-level control, step functions is more abstract. SWF is newer, step functions is older. SWF is serverless, step functions is not. SWF is region-specific, step functions is global. Amazon SWF provides more low-level control over workflow execution, while AWS step functions offers a more abstract, state machine-based approach. SWF is better for complex, long-running workflows. What is the purpose of tags in Amazon SWF? To categorize and filter workflow executions. To mark decision points. To label activity tasks. To identify worker types. Tags in Amazon SWF are used to categorize and filter workflow executions. They help in organizing, searching, and analyzing workflows based on custom criteria like environment, customer, or any other relevant attribute. What is the role of close operations in Amazon SWF? To shut down worker instances. To properly finish workflow components. To end AWS account access. To terminate running workflows. Close operations in Amazon SWF are used to properly finish workflow components like activities and workflows. They ensure clean completion, allowing SWF to update its state and free up resources. What is the role of visibility operations in Amazon SWF? To provide insights into workflow executions. To expose worker internals. To show decider logic. To make workflows public. Visibility operations in Amazon SWF provide insights into workflow executions. They allow you to query and list workflows, activities, and their statuses, aiding in monitoring, debugging, and operational awareness. In Amazon SWF, what is a decider responsible for? Storing workflow execution history. Monitoring worker health. Executing individual tasks in the workflow. Controlling the coordination logic of the workflow. The decider in Amazon SWF is responsible for controlling the coordination logic of the workflow. It determines which tasks to schedule next, handles decision points, and manages the overall flow of the workflow. What is the purpose of continue as new in Amazon SWF? To create a copy of a running workflow. To reset a workflow's history while continuing execution. To upgrade a workflow's version. To restart a failed workflow. Continue as new in Amazon SWF is used to reset a workflow's history while continuing its logical execution. This helps manage history size for long-running workflows, preventing it from hitting AWS limits. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.